Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. The Great Mushroom King was very shocked. It clearly felt that Jun Lin had erupted with the nascent soul cultivation in that instant, breaking through the rules restrictions of Medicine King Valley. It shouldn't be. Medicine Lord personally laid down the means back then, and he assured me that no one below true immortal could break it. What's going on now? Could it be that it has expired because too much time has passed? On the opposite side, Junlin's cultivation fell back to Qi refining stage 9 again, as if the outburst just now was all a bluff. But in the eyes of outsiders, this silver-haired youth was unfathomable. Great Mushroom, do you have any other skills? If not, I'm going to take you down and boil you into mushroom soup. Jun Lin said with a playful smile. He deliberately used the aggressive method to anger the other party into attacking, only in this way could he trigger the system's mechanism. With a bang, the Great Mushroom King gathered momentum and shot out, the surrounding airflow surging, then quickly becoming chaotic, the violent energy magnetic field causing the stones on the ground to rise, and then explode with a bang. It could be seen that it was very angry. You bad egg, I won't let you succeed. On both sides of the Great Mushroom King, there were emerald green hands condensed from vines, shattering the void when they punched, the force capable of overturning rivers and seas. Ding, detected that the host has encountered an attack from a golden core perfected enemy, now triggering the passive effect of becoming stronger when encountering the strong, obtaining the cultivation of the early nascent soul stage. The system prompt sounded in his mind. The aura on Junlin's body once again climbed from Qi refining to nascent soul. Facing the violent storm of fists, he raised his hand to make a fist without panic, and met the attack with ease. Boom boom boom. The sound of fists colliding was extremely dense, and flat air ripples rippled. The more the Great Mushroom King fought, the more frightened it became. The other party could really ignore the rules suppression and raise his cultivation to the nascent soul stage. Tear. The fist it condensed was torn apart by a terrifying force. The Great Mushroom King felt a chill all over his body, and sacrificed a wooden shield flashing with runes, attempting to block the other party's aggressive attack. Jun Lin had the Undying Overlord body technique to protect him, and his physical strength was extremely strong. He actually directly smashed the wooden shield, and slapped it out again, slamming the Great Mushroom King into the mud. Rumble. A large cloud of smoke soared into the sky. Inside the broken pit, the Great Mushroom King felt the gap in strength. It simply doubted its mushroom life. At the same time, it felt that the Medicine Lord was very unreliable. The rules he set were actually broken by a human cultivator. The Great Mushroom King has lost. Our Medicine King Valley is finished. The medicine race broke out in panic. The scene was in chaos. Crimson Essence King was very scared. Run away quickly. It really didn't expect that even the Great Mushroom King would be defeated by the other party. Everyone almost thought it was an illusion, that silver-haired youth really did it. The Great Mushroom King felt very desolate, feeling that its life was coming to an end. At this time, it recalled its long and boring life, its mood rising and falling sharply, from the fear of death, gradually turning into peace. Anyway, living is also meaningless, so just die. In the next life, I don't want to be a mushroom anymore. I want to be a human. At this time, Jun Lin was a little puzzled. Why didn't this thing jump out yet? Suddenly, a system prompt sounded in his mind. Ding, congratulations to the host for triggering the apprentice receiving task, successfully accepting the Undying Chaos Mushroom as an apprentice. You can obtain the Peerless Divine Power, 1 Qi transforming into 3 purities. 1 Qi transforming into 3 purities, can differentiate into 2 clones, and have the same cultivation and strength as the main body. Jun Lin was stunned. System, are you serious? You don't even let mushrooms go. But the problem is, the rewarded Great Divine Power this time is very tempting. If he can master 1 Qi transforming into 3 purities, manifesting 2 clones, plus himself, that would be 3 people, this combat power would directly explode. While the thoughts were turning, Jun Lin flashed to the top of the pit, looking at the Great Mushroom King in a state of sadness below, deliberately coughing a few times. Want to live? I can give you a chance. In his opinion, this mushroom is so afraid of death, it would definitely agree immediately after hearing this. Great Mushroom King, I refuse. Why? Jun Lin was dumbfounded. He hadn't even stated his request, and the other party had already refused him directly? You really don't want to live? That's right, I don't want to. No, you do. I really don't want to. Are you sure? Sure. Jun Lin was speechless. Could it be that this reward was going to slip away? But this was one chi transforming into 3 pure ones. He didn't want to miss out on such a cool and practical move. Jun Lin started plotting, his face changing into a kind smile, as refreshing as a spring breeze, revealing 8 pearly white teeth, his attitude amiable as he said, "Then, can you do me a favor before you die?" What? Agree to be my disciple. In all its years, it had never seen such a shameless person. Who asks someone to become their disciple right before they die? The request itself was outrageous. Besides, it was just a mushroom. Brother Mushroom, help me out, fulfill my wish before you die. Don't worry, when you attack me later, I will definitely use all my strength to beat you until you explode with juice, ensuring you die without pain, leaving peacefully. Jun Lin had a kind smile on his face, but the words he spoke were extremely savage. The Great Mushroom King found it unbelievable. Listen to that, is that human language? That's an animal, right? Sorry, I'm not interested. The Great Mushroom King was annoyed, turned its back, and directly refused to communicate with Jun Lin. To be killed or sliced, do as you please. Seeing this, the corner of Junlin's eyes twitched, the smile on his face gradually turning into a grimace, letting out a sinister laugh like a demon. All right, since that's the case, I'll throw you into a pot and cook you into mushroom soup, or kill a few chickens and make chicken and mushroom stew. Don't worry, I'll eat you clean, not wasting a single bit. As he spoke, he didn't know where he pulled out a large black pot, vigorously hitting it with a spoon, grinning, "Get over here, squat down obediently. Don't you want to die? I'll grant your wish." The Great Mushroom King trembled all over, its voice intermittent, "Give me a chance." You don't want to die anymore? No, I still want to try and save myself. You can, but you have to be my disciple first. Okay. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully accepting a disciple, rewarding the peerless divine ability, 1 chi transforming into 3 pure ones. Ding, detecting the disciple's aptitude, a supreme cultivation method is specially rewarded, Azure Emperor longevity art. Jun Lin was overjoyed, finally getting his wish. Afterward, he looked at the Great Mushroom King hiding in the corner, a wicked smile on his lips, his eyes as if looking at a dish. Ding, warm reminder, the host cannot do things like kill the donkey after grinding the mill, otherwise the system will take back the divine ability. The adorable system seemed to see through Junlin's wicked thoughts, and specially reminded him. Junlin's smile quickly faded, righteously saying, "System, with my noble character, do you think I would do such a thing? You should be ashamed for your unwarranted questioning just now." Then, Jun Lin looked at the pitiful Great Mushroom King below, and said unhappily, "Come up, from now on you are my disciple, you must call me master." The Great Mushroom King weakly said, You really won't eat me?" Seeing this fickle human, the Great Mushroom King always felt that there was something strange about him. Jun Lin put on a straight face, "Since you are my disciple, I will protect you." He joined his 2 fingers together, and pointed out a green starlight, which entered the Great Mushroom King's head. "This is the cultivation method bestowed upon you by your master, practice it." Boom. The Great Mushroom King's head almost exploded. The Azure Emperor longevity art, this cultivation method containing supreme mysteries, unfolded like a scroll in its sea of consciousness. In an instant, the Great Mushroom King trembled all over like a sieve, its mental fluctuations extremely strong. It was extremely excited. What a wonderful cultivation method this was. As everyone knows, the medicine clan is inherently weak and not good at fighting. The advantage is that they have a longer lifespan than the human clan. However, if the shortcomings can be made up for, this is a great thing for the medicine clan creatures. And this Azure Emperor longevity art is able to make up for the medicine clan's general lack of combat power and slow cultivation. As a top-grade Great Medicine King, the Immortal Chaos Mushroom with extremely high potential, possessing this cultivation method will completely realize its transformation, no different from a carp leaping over the Dragon Gate, soaring 10,000 miles. This time, the Great Mushroom King truly believed Junlin's nonsense, and sincerely said, "Master, please accept this disciple's bow." It jumped up from the pit and bowed respectfully in front of Junlin. Junlin put his hands behind his back and nodded. This scene, falling into everyone's eyes, was like being struck by thunder, and everyone was petrified. What's going on? While fighting, this guy suddenly accepted a disciple? Moreover, it's a mushroom. What kind of strange hobby is this? Li Wujie was first stunned, then deeply agreed. See, this is Master's pattern. We can never understand it. Hong Qianye rolled his eyes upon hearing this. He muttered to himself, is this bastard obsessed with accepting disciples? The battle between cultivators has always been a matter of life and death. However, it has never happened that someone accepts someone as a disciple while fighting. Could it be that this guy wants to cultivate it into the legendary immortal medicine, and then devour and refine it when the time is ripe? Hong Qianye exerted his demonic Dao thinking and couldn't help but speculate. He felt that this was entirely possible. After all, this guy is usually not human. The most important thing is, according to the Immortal Chaos Mushroom's growth potential, it is really possible to transform into an immortal medicine. With the value of immortal medicine, even immortals would fight fiercely, fighting to the point of bloodshed. Maosi has another junior brother. Bai Xiaoxi danced with joy, because this meant there was one more person to call her senior sister Bai. The burning lamp master, who was hanging on the bamboo, had a look of suspicion about life. This world has developed to the point where he can't understand it. So, from beginning to end, he became the biggest victim? At this time, Junlin carefully looked at the Great Mushroom King and said seriously, since you have entered the Master Sect, you must have a suitable name. This title is easy to cause misunderstandings. Master, according to your meaning. The Great Mushroom King was somewhat expectant. The shape is like a black mushroom, and it has the fate of the Azure Emperor, and the growth potential is extremely high. Considering the above, let's call you Xiao He. Junlin said seriously. The Great Mushroom King was speechless. It really wanted to refuse, but it didn't dare. After thinking about it, Xiao He was actually quite good, low-key, simple and unpretentious. By the way, Master asks you, why did the Master of Medicine King Valley, Medicine Venerable, set up various methods to suppress human cultivators and instead protect your medicine clan? Junlin thought of something and asked seriously. Regarding that Medicine Venerable from ancient times, he really couldn't figure out why he wanted to do this to later generations. Clearly, he generously opened the Medicine King Valley, allowing human cultivators to come in and pick it, but he still created various tricks, causing the medicine clan here to ride on the heads of the human race and act arbitrarily. This was simply cheating people without discussion. Causing so many years to pass, the people outside who were kept in the dark still respected him so much. They simply don't know that this ghost place is the human race's Azure field. No matter how awesome you were before, as long as you step into here, you have to obediently be a grandson. Deceiving generations of human cultivators, it is simply the biggest scam in the eastern region. Faced with this question, the Great Mushroom King didn't even think about it and blurted out, because Medicine Venerable himself is a member of our medicine clan. What? Junlin was stunned. Not only him, everyone was dumbfounded. The well-known Medicine Venerable of ancient times was actually a member of the medicine clan. In other words, its true form was an ancient herb that broke through to immortality through its own cultivation. That's amazing, the probability is even smaller than that of the human race. What is the Medicine Venerable's true form? Junlin asked. It's a Qilin herb. The Great Mushroom King added, at that time, it was already an immortal herb, and a very rare one at that. Qilin herb. Hong Qianye's pupils constricted, his heart greatly shaken. Legend has it that it is an immortal herb that seizes the good fortune of heaven and earth, resembling the ancient divine beast Qilin. Anyone who refines and consumes it can instantly rejuvenate, even if they are on the verge of death, and obtain many rare and wonderful techniques. From then on, their combat power will be unparalleled, and their path to immortality will be smooth. So, the old geezer Medicine Venerable deliberately set a trap after becoming an immortal, just to harm later human cultivators? Jun Lin said with an unkind tone. Opening the Medicine King Valley once every 100,000 years, attracting countless followers, earning enough reputation while also playing everyone for fools. How playful, really playful. The crowd looked grief-stricken, because they were the victims. Sensing that the atmosphere was not right, the Great Mushroom King shrank its head and weakly defended. Medicine Venerable was actually forced to do so. Back then, many forces wanted to get their hands on the Medicine King Valley, eyeing its resources covetously. Medicine Venerable was eager to go to the Immortal Realm, and for the sake of safety, made concessions on the surface, claiming that the Medicine King Valley would open once every 100,000 years. But secretly, it secretly tampered with things, not only suppressing the realm of outsiders, but also enhancing the power of the Medicine Clan's creatures, and also formulated rules to divide the Medicine Clan's cultivation according to quality. For example, my quality is the best Great Medicine King, which is the Golden Core Completion Cultivation, and there is no possibility of breakthrough beyond that. In this boring and monotonous environment, many of my companions look forward to the opening of the Medicine King Valley the most, because it means that many human races will pour in to relieve their boredom and add fun. Hearing this, many cultivators present were heartbroken, regretting why they had to wade into this muddy water. Isn't this purely looking for abuse? I see. Junlin's eyes flickered, unable to judge this kind of behavior. After all, the Medicine Clan has always been weak, and Medicine Venerable just wanted to protect its clansmen. The reason for opening the Medicine King Valley was a forced compromise, but secretly it didn't prevent it from deliberately digging pits, having its own little tricks. As for dividing the realm according to the quality of the ancient medicine, it should be to ensure the stability of the internal structure. It can be said that it was very thoughtful. Alas, I always thought that Medicine Venerable was a human sage of the eastern region. After all, it is rumored that Medicine Venerable was benevolent and kind, practiced medicine to save the world, and helped many practitioners in ancient times, with an excellent reputation. So it's all fake. Li Wujie said with a wry smile. The Great Mushroom King said seriously, no, it's all true. Medicine Venerable did help some human powers at that time, but the situation was not what you think. It was forced to use its own medicinal power to heal them, otherwise its true form would be divided and it would no longer be able to live. For example, there was a Qingyi sword immortal who was known as invincible. In order to save his dying partner, he asked Medicine Venerable for a section of the Qilin horn. Medicine Venerable was forced to cut it off and give it to him. I remember there was another guy whose Taoist name was Golden Light Layman. Because there was a mistake in the cultivation method, which caused damage to the meridians in his body, he went to ask Medicine Venerable for help. Medicine Venerable was annoyed and simply put the foot-washing water that he had prepared that night into a gourd and gave it to him to drink. After the Golden Light Layman drank it, he recovered instantly. At this time, the Great Mushroom King talked endlessly, revealing many inside stories of the past. The crowd looked strange, feeling a little sympathetic to Medicine Venerable for some reason. So this is the truth. What benevolence and kindness, practicing medicine to save the world, are all labels attached by later generations. The real situation is that Medicine Venerable survived in the cracks, forced to pave the way for itself with its body. From a certain point of view, Medicine Venerable didn't actually do anything wrong. Moreover, the Medicine King Valley also has a unique protection mechanism. Any cultivator in danger will be immediately teleported out, so no one has died in the Medicine King Valley for so many years. The praise of it by the uninformed vast number of cultivators is just wishful thinking. They really don't have the right to complain about Medicine Venerable. Uncle Fan, that Golden Light Layman is so stupid, he even makes mistakes in cultivation, and even runs to drink Medicine Venerable's foot-washing water, and Meowie laughed so hard that her branches trembled. Fandishan was expressionless. Miss, that Golden Light Layman is the founder of your father's lineage, known as Golden Light covering the body, indestructible, but it conflicts with the starch and cultivation method you practice, so your father didn't pass it on to you. And Meowie immediately retracted her grinning teeth, feeling a burning sensation on her cheeks. She muttered to herself, no wonder I felt this person sounded familiar just now. Listening to the description of the Great Mushroom King, Jun Lin exclaimed, "What an inspiration. Worthy of being a rare qilin herb in the world. The whole body is a treasure." In this situation, all the top big brother are staring at it. As long as there is something, they will seek help, and Medicine Venerable has no right to refuse. Over time, everyone tacitly approves of its existence, because no one can guarantee that they can completely possess it. Medicine Venerable has been walking silently all the way, and finally proves the Tao and becomes an immortal. Boom. At this moment, brilliant light condensed in the sky above the Medicine King Valley, and then turned into a huge mottled vortex. Everyone felt an attraction. The Medicine King Valley was about to close, and they were about to be teleported out. The next time it opens will be 100,000 years later. We can finally leave. Whoever loves this damn place can come. Freedom, long live. Cheers rose one after another, and many cultivators were overjoyed, and some even shed tears of excitement. After all, even the strongest cultivation base is suppressed to the qi refining realm, and there are a lot of precious medicines riding on their heads and acting as if they are doing whatever they want. How many people can tolerate this kind of humiliation in personality and dignity? Now being able to be teleported out is simply a relief. Ba, this old monk is going to start a massacre. The Lantern Master, who was naked, dirty, and filled with the stench of feces, slowly put his hands together, a sharp cold light flashing in his eyes. His chest was filled with uncontrollable anger. Burning hotter and hotter. As if to burn through the whole body. A dignified power at the peak of the tribulation transcending realm was actually humiliated like this. Even though many cultivators present have backgrounds, he has been overwhelmed by hatred at this moment. He just wants to quickly vent his anger and wash away the shame in the Medicine King Valley with blood.